Well, Mark, a fantastic afternoon at the Nigel Eady County Ground. So how do you analyse today's victory?
I honestly think it's a continuation of how we've been playing, and I've said from the start I think our performances have been good. Statistically, the data and the metrics we're looking at have been really high, and today's data and metrics just supported basically all the other games. But unfortunately, the game's about results. People are emotionally attached to the result, and we've just been saying to the players constantly about sticking to the process, believing in your work, not getting away from it. And I think today was just evidence of the work we're doing. Unfortunately, in football, every game's different, and sometimes you don't reap the rewards you deserve. And today, everything. I don't think we had any luck. I thought we thoroughly deserved the win. I thought it actually could have been more. Their keepers pulled off a few good saves. I mean, Jack's not had a save to make, so normally as a coach you'll go, well, we've hit the post, or we've had a penalty turned down, or we've worked your keeper. Jack didn't have a save to make, and on the other hand, we've scored 4, and their keepers pulled off 2 or 3 really good saves. So it was a good day at the office.
A game very much of two halves, but one you started brightly in the first half with Kabongo Shamanga scoring his first goal for the club. You must be pleased for him to get off the mark.
I am really pleased. I'm really pleased for him and Glatz, because you want your strikers to score goals, and it's a thing. Well, I apologise, I will answer your question. I mean, I've had a good heart-to-heart with Glatz. I think he's trying too hard and he's desperate to please, and being so eager and working so hard, he's become tense and not loose and not relaxed. So I think we've seen that in his game today. But in terms of Cabs' goal, it was a typical Cabs goal, back to goal, roll, finish. He can shoot off both feet. So I'm pleased they're off the mark, because that's what strikers want. More important to me was the team performance we got from both of those. Particularly, I think it was, I'm going to say it was the 4th goal, apologies, but Jack's been pressed, he's cleared the ball, it's not gone very far with the wind, and Glatz has made basically a fight ball into his ball, and he won it, and we go out to the side and we score a goal. So, but pleased for those two that they've scored, for sure.
As I mentioned, it was a game very much of two halves, but a second half that showed really good character to not only win this afternoon, but as you mentioned, a clean sheet as well.
Yeah, I'm not embarrassed to say it. Like, clean sheets and out of possession is huge to me. I can't emphasise or overemphasise that enough. It's not an obsession. What we do on the ball is more important than how we our patterns of playing, our DNA, and having the ability to unlock doors and touches in the opposition box, final third entries, shots on goal, corners, key passes, key moments. They're more important. But without the other side of the game, you've got nothing. So trust me, although we've scored 4 goals and we've won, I felt we're impressive, I'm equally as pleased we've kept the clean sheet. For the defenders and for Jack, I spoke to Frex today. I apologies, I hope I don't contradict myself, I don't want to talk about individuals, but when I watched Frex against Walsall, he looked like a little boy. He really went into a shell. His body language was poor. He was kind of sinking on the day. But because of that experience, he looks like a man now. Like, he's really got taken the bull by the horns. He's got real confidence in himself, and he's really come out of that. But it takes that dark moment in the game to become the person and the player you are. So those experiences, especially for lone players, are so important, and he's been through them. So things like that. So it's good he'll walk away, clean sheet, and he'll be thinking of that, as will Jack. Tamisha got man of the match. So Kingy, excellent. Really good on both sides of the coin in terms of what we want to do in football.
4 changes this afternoon with Tamisi, Joel, George and Paul Glatz all starting today, and particularly great to see Paul okay to start after his concussion assessment.
Yeah, so we've... Some of the changes was personnel not being available. One thing I love about Glatz is his desire to play, his desire to impress, his desire to improve. He really didn't want to come off at Barrow, but I said I think it's huge credit to Jackson for bringing him off, and I seen something ironically similar happen with Newport today, with Aaron, who got a bang in the head, and credit to Newport for making a bold decision, because he didn't want to come off. The player's health has to be paramount in any situation. But what was amazing about Glatz today, if you look at his goal, you know, it's a header where he's put himself in a position, he's behind the defender, he's come across, and he's really put his head in the area where it could come off. So his bravery is phenomenal. I mean, he's a tough cookie. The lads reckon it's the German in him.
Slotting back into midfield after international duty, Joel Cotcher on the score sheet for Swindon as well, and exactly what you spoke about in your pre-match interview about the type of player Swindon Town have.
Yeah, very, very lucky. I'm pleased it was inside the box. People keep talking us about scoring outside the box. What was more impressive was the positions he finds himself in. That's why we want to play him as an 8. I mean, he's only had, I'm going to say, 3 games as an 8. He's got 2 goals, one against Exeter, one again today. He got 2 for Wales. You know, he's had 4 goals in a week. But it's putting him in those positions. He can shoot off both feet. He's technical. He's calm. And it was a really good finish because quite often you see those chances in the game and they fly over the bar. It was just nice to see the net bulge. And he's had a tough week as well. He's played away to Iceland, a lot of travelling. So really pleased. And I'm glad we were able to get him off the pitch as well to rest him.
More minutes this afternoon for George Cox. So where do you assess his fitness at the moment, having played in consecutive games now?
He's a difficult one because we've had to fast track him and it's the last thing we want to do. So again, really lucky today that we were able to take him off at half time, which he was raging with, which is really great to see. He's just got to manage that and understand why he's coming off, which I thought was strange. But it was, I mean that in a nice way, it was interesting. His delivery is phenomenal. You look at the goal, I think it was Glatz's goal. His ability to cross the ball is phenomenal. He's tenacious, he's tough. He wants to get forward and he's aggressive when he defends. So we'll just have to manage him. I think that's just a constant conversation with the physios and the medical and performance team because he's had no pre-season.
Notably, Ollie Clark, Grant Hall and Ryan Delaney missing from today's squad. So what can you tell us about Grant and Ollie's injury assessment and Ryan's absence this afternoon?
All injured, unfortunately. Very small, very minor. Not quite sure yet what next week looks like, but they're really, really short-term injuries. So, Ollie said he felt we found the weak link in the team, which was him, Grant, and Ryan, and that's why we won today, apparently.
It was great to see Sean McGurk for the first time this season, a player that's had to be patient with breaking into the first team following his tough pre-season, and also minutes for Harrison Minturn as well.
Yeah, so Sean answered the former part first. Just really unlucky pre-season. He's trained for very limited days. He's been unlucky in that regard. So it was nice to get him on the pitch today. Mercurial player, incredibly talented. I'm just disappointed for me personally and for him that we've not had a chance to work with each other and see each other. And then you have to build up that trust of putting him in. And League Two's not the place to bed people in. But how he's trained, how he's conducted himself, very, very impressive. So that's been really good. Harrison, I like Harrison. I think he's a good player. He's quick, he's strong. In fact, he's not quick, he's rapid. He's really strong, he's really aggressive. He can handle the ball, he can drive out. He's just been really lucky in terms with the other players that we've got. And I've said to him, it's personal choice. Like, I could be wrong. You probably think I'm wrong, and it's personal choice. So he's been really unlucky from a numerical point of view. We've got 6 centre-halves if we include Tamishi in there, who played there for half the game today. So he's been unlucky, but the biggest thing I said to the players after the game is how they conduct themselves and train is so important. If you're not at it, or you're being you know what, you don't play. But it also means you're ready when you come on. And although I said I don't want to mention people, I think Aaron Drinnan deserves a special mention because I thought he was really impressive and he's been phenomenal in training all week, and he can feel very aggrieved that he's not in the team. But his conduct and his professionalism, screams out to say, put me on, I'm ready, I want to play, and he's good to go. And I thought he showed that in his performance.
You've spoken lots about the performances and how times Town have been unlucky and on the wrong side of a scoreline, but does today really show the hard work behind the scenes in the project and philosophy we're building here? Yeah,
look, 100%. Where I'm really calm, and I don't hold the cards, I'm an employee of a club, I'm really calm about where we are and what we're doing. I keep talking about processes. If somebody offered me the job and said you're going to have 10 games, I wouldn't have taken it. I'm not interested. I'd rather be at home with my wife and kids. You have to be allowed time to build something. You can't lose a manager after 10 games and say it wasn't working. How do you know? You've not given it a chance to work. You've not given it a chance to grow. So stuff like that I don't get, I don't understand. And with Clem and the board and Jamie and good people like that, the one thing I know they want to do is they don't want to turn around and a merry-go-round of managers and stuff like that. But you can't expect instant results. If we weren't playing well, you weren't seeing the pictures from training, you weren't seeing improvement, you weren't seeing evidence, whether it's metrics, data, or just with your eyes, absolutely no problem. But ultimately, football's about winning games, isn't it? But we're really confident in what we're doing, what it looks like, in where we've started and where we are now and where we're going. So yeah, I'm very, very relaxed about that. The stuff like that really doesn't bother me.
Lastly, the home support. The Niger Leedy County Ground was in great voice today, so it must feel great to win this afternoon.
Yeah, really pleased, because when you go away from home, naturally some of the places we've been recently, it's very difficult for those to follow, and it's hard to create and build a narrative for the people who weren't there. So you really have to hit the ground running in your home games. You really have to evidence and show, because that's where 90% of your fans are. I'm really pleased that they got to see a result which is a byproduct of what we've been doing in training. But you know, unfortunately, we've had 2 other games at home. I thought Notts County were excellent. Walsall was just a really bad day at the office. And it's important that you have a winning performance to put those things to bed, because that was a tough day for us.